This is going to be a tough video for me to get through, because you're going to have to watch some terrible Valorant. Today we're going to talk about Team Liquid versus BBL. We're going to talk about Map 3 Ascent, because BBL did not win a single attacking round. And some of the Valorant you're about to watch is truly, truly terrible. So to understand part of the reason why this is so bad, there are many reasons why this is bad, but one of the main reasons actually is BBL's comp. Because when you take a look at BBL's comp, what do you see? Triple Initiator with a Yoru as well, right? So just think about how much like util this comp potentially gives you on an attack side. Now yes, Team Liquid are playing a double Sentinel Deadlock Cypher, right? So you'd assume that their defense side is going to be pretty good. But we have more than enough tools with this comp to potentially make up for that, right? We have so many tools to potentially make up for that on our attack side. But BBL did not use those tools. Let's start with the anti-bonus round here, round number 3. Now, you know that they lose this round because they lose them all. But in this one, what I want you to notice off the rip here is just how much util you're about to see flash on your screen. So this is a Fade Haunt just here. You're going to see the smoke here. You're going to see Rocket, Flash. You know, just all going crazy. In a second, we're going to get a KO knife in here as well, right? So look, a big circle, KO knife. You see it, right? You see the KO knife just there, right? So you've got just a ton of util going back and forth, start of a round, as you would expect for this comp. We're then going to send in the Teo drone just here, okay? Teo drone gets shot. Okay, we see someone there. We then TP up here with Loon, right? Like, okay, here we go. We're in a decent spot. We put this smoke down. But now just take a look at the map, right? Because get used to this. Get used to people just being spread out. Okay, again, you would think with this comp, we're going to overwhelm certain areas with util. Well, not with BBL, not with the way they were playing it. Because instead, we're going to go for the Scooby-Doo approach of split up and look for clues. Okay, that's what they're going to play. That's how they want to play. And what's going to happen in just a second is Team Liquid, I think, perhaps realized that the Yoru is pushed up here in mid. So what are they going to do? They're going to send a smoke just in here into mid, right? And at this point, our Yoru is completely cut off from the rest of the team, right? We are now, if they pushed A at this moment for whatever reason, this would be on your own. If they pushed B at this moment, you would be on your own. You're now completely on your own as well, and these two aren't really connected either, right? So everyone is pretty much on their own at this point. Get used to that. Absolutely get used to that. Okay, we're sending a flash up here into top mid. Whilst that's going on, we're going to get our first kill. Oh, look, solo fight, no trade available. And then Team Liquid are now, because that smoke is in there, and they know that this Yoru is pretty much alone, they're going to come and double swing this, right? You are in a lot of trouble here already, right? There is no trade in sight. There is no help in sight. Again, I just want to point out, I just want to stress this point. We are playing Triple Initiator Yoru. Think of all of the util we can throw at different parts of the map when we are together. Instead, we have decided to completely split up and be on our own. Everyone on their own. Every man for himself. And we get lucky here. We get lucky. They managed to line up and we managed to kill both of them. And that should absolutely not happen in most scenarios. This would either be just a straight kill or best 1-for-1. Right? We get lucky. We get 2 kills there. Okay? Well, lucky, guys. We managed to survive this bonus round. We got a bit fortunate. It's okay. Now we can get out of this round and be fine. We're going to walk into B. Oh, Kiko's there. Oh, okay. Kiko's there, but we're still on a 2v1 on the site, right? We're still in an okay spot. We know where he is now. Oh, look. I've seen both of the other players. We now have perfect info of where they are. We got a free kill. It's a 3v2. Perfect. All you got to do, son, is just live. You know, don't take a 1v1 here, just live, and then we got a 2v1 on the site. We could even come back around to A as long as you just contain him and know that he can't come and suppress it just here. We have both of these players. We know exactly pretty much where they are. What are we going to do instead? Well, I don't know what they're going to do. You try and explain this to me of what they do next.
Off this rotate, has found the first of the kills, Nat's the next, but he will land his with a ghost in hand when he had a rifle and then picks up the Vandal instead.
It's a weird situation to be in, a 2v2 with every single player isolated. Don't want to give a 1v1, and BBL trying to link up the last 2 remaining.
To head towards mid for now.
No utility.
Levin just
30
looking.
seconds left.
You know that the Cypher setup is more likely than not on A.
It's going to be difficult to try and break those traps, etc. So you're waiting for those salvos to come up on Yampi.
Lost a player in B main. That would have been the info, but I guess they've just not managed to get a look on this one yet. So into the traps they go, just sidestepping it. Safe plant Gen. That's first point of contact. He will wait for Kiko to arrive.
Yeah, that retake cam used early to identify players, and Yampi not looking the right way. 11 now towards the back of site. He's on 77 HP, right? 3 armor, that's not really nothing to talk about. Needs to be clean fights, needs to win it cleanly.
Okay, so when we got into this position, right, and Prophet gets that kill just there, we're now in a 3v2. We know where everyone is. How the hell have we ended up playing a game of Where's Wally, or Where's Waldo for you Americans? Where are we going? We know where this guy is. It's a 2v1 on the site. Why are we playing a game like why are we playing this game of hide and seek with Nats? What are we doing? What? Why? And then we end up just confusing ourselves. I mean, it gets funny towards the end as well because I mean, this in a second is very funny. I think when when Levin starts whiffing on a camera. Watch this. 1, 2. Takes 3 bullets to destroy a camera, and then Yampi's lost. Because of course we lost, because we have no idea where Nats is. He could have come around here, right? So that's why Yampi is looking this way, because it's very realistic that Nats could have ended up in A main. But again, we could have avoided all this had we just gone for the 2v1 here, killed him, and been in a decent spot. Right? If Prophet chose to live instead of taking a fight that he doesn't need to take. If we could have just taken a 2v1 against the guy rather than running around the map, splitting up, looking for clues again. What on earth is going on? We end up losing the round. So that was a bad start, but it's going to get worse. Don't you worry. Let's take a look at round number 5. And the first time I'm just going to play this through for you, I want you to just appreciate Nats the first time we watch this.
Well, this could be some form of vision strikers straight off the bat.
It's a Camo with the blades over the top. Kiko's the one to find the first of those kills. Caught by the salvos of Yampi on the opposite side, and BBL forcing an immediate reaction. A play called. Fake out used to reveal the position of the traps. And so is Profek in the corner. Nats to remove him.
They've even invested the Armageddon on top of that. Levin had a chance from window, but can't quite capitalise. It's Spam City, and it seems like Team Liquid are coming out on top. A 2v3 to try and clutch up from, but it will not.
Okay, there are layers to this, so let's go through it, right? The first thing we need to talk about is their round plan. I don't know what their plan is. Well, I guess we'll never know. I don't know why Magnum needs to be here, though. And the reason that, obviously, we see Team Liquid go for this tile scrunch here, and the reason that, like, this makes no sense in this particular round of why Magnum would need to be there just to throw a KO knife, I mean, Jesus Christ, is because Team Liquid have jet knives, right? So when are you expecting a tile scrunch? Well, it's more likely when your opponent has jet knives, right? Because the jet can come out here and just drift in the air and still kill you, you know, like we're going to see they try in this round for Team Liquid, right? I don't know exactly what they were trying to do. I don't know why Magnum needs to be on his own. He could be on the other side of the map and still do a KO knife lineup that lands in B main. So I don't know why he needs to be here. He dies, of course. You know, whatever. It's whatever, right? I mean, why we can't just run an exec with a Yoru tail ult, I don't know. I do not know. I do not understand. But okay, whatever, right? He dies, we're in a 45. The bad hasn't stopped, right? It hasn't stopped. Because then we're going to Yoru ult in here. Okay, that's fine. We're going to Yoru ult in. Okay, in we come. You know, no one's on site. We're sending the drone. I just want you to notice the drone here, right? You see this drone on the floor right here? This is Yampi's drone, okay? Just keep that in mind. So Yampi is droning there. We're coming into the site, okay? There's a trip. We're going to run into the second trip just in a second. Just want you to notice now that our Yoru, who is ulting, is looking at what's going on in heaven. And so for whatever reason, we decide, now I'm going to just tail ult this. Again, I want you to remember, we have already droned and seen that there's no one in hell, right? We have cleared the site. Our Yoru and our drone have cleared the site. We know no one's on site. Our Yoru is now looking in heaven and can see that no one is there. We know that there has been a tiles crunch, right? Remember when our KO died here from a tiles crunch? Remember that? Which means that there is no flood coming. In fact, almost certainly the map is just going to be Nats and 4 people trying to sprint across here, which it is, which we should know because our KO died to a tiles crunch. What on earth are you? How have you used this tail ult? How on earth have you used this tail ult? Not only can you see on your map that no one is there, you know from what has previously happened in the round that no one is going to be there. Like, as soon as the Cypher isn't in hell or heaven, you know no one's there. You know it for a fact. You know it 100%. And you have perfect info that no one is there. It's, I have no, there are no words. This is literally, I am playing on autopilot, right? When we do this strat, I do this tail ult. And there's nothing in my mind that nothing else can happen in the round to convince me not to do it. We are playing on autopilot. And it shows, right? Because, yeah, that tail ult in a normal situation where someone might be in heaven, yeah, it's a good ult, right? It allows your Yoru to come out. Hey, yeah, it makes sense. But not in the round that you're in. It makes no sense. And yeah, it's well played by Nats, right? You know, this is good. I do want to appreciate Nats in this round because it's cool and all of that. But I cannot get over, I mean, we had Yoru tail ult. And what did we get from it? Why could we not just run? Like, again, look at our comp. Why is our round plan when we've got these 2 ults? Why can't we just run? Hey, 4 of us are going to go here, and I'm going to Yoru ult down this way. Why can't we just do that? Help me. We then take a timeout for BBL. Okay? They take a timeout, and this is the round that they run off a timeout.
Look at the BBL comp, right? Something that they'll get massive value from is their ultimates like Dimensional Drift, Armageddon, Nightfall, Null Command, and Cosmic Divide. And that's what we're seeing right now. We need to see BBL convert from an ult used.
Trying to do. Levin has TP'd into the backside with the sound cut from the Nightfall, but now they know he needs to hit the shot and he can't. Patatek finishes it off. It's between him and, well, Paddy with a stash that end up doing it.
Yeah, and the spike elsewhere. How does BBL even try and get that one back? Like, they're just exploring the map, trying to find a way into the back lines and catch the players off guard, take duels, etc.
Liquid know where the gap lies, trying to plug that space exactly, and Serial will do so.
Okay, again, I spoke about them being on autopilot. This, again, is, to me, this is just like, we are on autopilot. There is no thought in our head, but it's just autopilot. We have a set round that we've run in a scrim and it worked once, so it must work again. That's all I can think for this, because they're going to 3-stack come for this B exec, right? And our Yoru is going to TP onto the site with the spike on his own, right? So you can see, again, that they've thought about this, right? Like, oh, I'm going to do this little star here. We're going to run into B main. We're going to do this little recall. You know, Levin's going to get across here so he can do his little Yoru lineup. We're then going to fade ult if anyone's there. You know, I don't know what we'll do if someone is there. But if no one is there, you know, we can TP onto the site and get the spike down. Okay, whatever, right? We've seen these other kind of Yoru get the spike down fast kind of plays. Like, okay. The part that makes even less sense to me is, why is our Teo chilling with our Astra? Someone explain this to me, right? What is Yampi doing back here? Because you know what might help with this kind of initial exec? Some missiles that maybe pushes people into a fatal or gets them out of, you know, normal spots where they'd be under pressure. Right? That might help. Or a drone, so that we can see if the fatal missed maybe people who are close by. So if we know this will be a terrible, terrible idea or not. And I know we've already seen it, right? The Liquid have flanked through here, right? Like, we've already seen them do that, okay? So what I'm guessing this is you're expecting Liquid to do this flank again. But then you're also saying, we think that Profek, we're cutting him after this game. Right? We must be cutting him. I'm expecting the announcement to come anytime soon. Because clearly they don't think he's very good. Because otherwise he wouldn't need someone to hold his hand here. Right? On what should be a pretty free kill of someone doing this. Right? Because if two people do come and do this, what I'd hope is my Astra player can do, my pro Astra player, what I'm hoping they can do is maybe hit a shot and then just chill and live. That's all I need them to do. I need them to get us into a 5v4 and then chill if they do this. I'll take that. But clearly, for BBL, I mean, it's unlucky. I think Profec's not that bad. But clearly they do because they need Yampy to hold his hand. So then, when, of course, this idea goes terribly, terribly wrong, and our Yoru dies on the site because we haven't cleared the site properly, because all we did was... Don't forget, our Fade ult, we've only Fade ulted the actual where you can plant the spike, right? It doesn't hit stairs. It doesn't hit anyone over here, right? No one else is getting out of this choke point. So when our Yoru TP's in, and, like, there's no one else to help him... By the way, Team Liquid have been doing this deadlock wall like every single time that they've come towards B, right? So you know that at this point, I mean, even if he does, this is what's so great about this. Again, they're on complete autopilot. They have not thought about Team Liquid having any agency of their own whatsoever. Because Team Liquid, throughout this game, are going to keep doing this deadlock wall. The BBL have seen multiple times at this point already. They're going to do this deadlock wall. Just think about, like, if there was no one here, and he does get the spike down, well, you've only got Sheriff, so this wall is going to take a while to break. At which point, Liquid could just flood in, kill him, and defuse the spike. And okay, maybe you've got a bit of delay with, you know, the two who are just holding hands back here, doing nothing for you. Although the Teo missiles are probably too far away. Which is funny as well. But just think about, like, this round is never going to work. Like, I can't think of a single instance where this would work. He dies on the site. I mean, it's even worse. Deadlock has been playing B every single round and does do from almost every round in this game, right? So they've been putting their Deadlock on B, Cypher on A, right? For pretty much most of these rounds. Well, Deadlock has an ult this round as well. Right? Our Deadlock has an ult in this round. So we're running straight into that as well. I mean, Jesus Christ. What are we doing? And then we're coming to the very next round. Oh, by the way, did I mention that we're taking a look at round 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 today? Did I mention that that's what we'd be doing today? Because we are. All of those rounds in a row we're taking a look at. This next one, I mean, it's very difficult to choose, but this one might even be the worst.
One of them will be the null command from Magnum against this double Senti comp. Probably the strongest ult that you could be looking for to take all of that extra utility offline. But Camo's fighting in front of it. BBL considering it, salvos to take him off the line.
Unfortunately, the fake out doesn't identify that the trap that's been placed. Magnum goes searching all.
Okay, so that first death there is unspeakably bad. There are no words for how bad that is. Again, bronze lobbies would be ashamed of what just happened. Because again, they start off this round and they remember, hold on, we do have some util. Right, we do have util. I think I remember what util is. We aren't playing CS, are we? I can't quite remember what game we're playing, but I think we've got util. So they do use some of it and they take B main, right? What is Magnum doing? What is he doing? Where are you going? What are you doing? When have you ever seen a pro player 20 seconds into the round, right? 20 seconds into the round, think that they could just walk up here like that, with no util around them? What are you doing? On your own, walking up here, but it's not just the on your own, right? Because again, this is so bad because we have to come back to, look at your comp! Think of how much util you could use! Think of all the things you could do! And we do this! We just walk here on our own! Oh! Oh my god. And not only that, I want you to take a look at the map right now. What are we doing? Everyone is on their own. Every single player is on their own, right? Remember that Magnum has died here. What are we doing? It's like they've fooled themselves into thinking, well, if we play triple initiator and Yoru, that means that we can take all of the map all of the time. Right? Like, I can put my Fade stuff over here and Prowler this, and we can tail missile this, and I can smoke mid, and I can KO, you know, walk in here and die. And we can just do that all at the same time. And we can take every part of the map at the start of every round. Well, that's not how it works, buddy. Guess what? Pro players are going to be able to shoot a Fade Prowler or a KO knife. Or be able to come up with some plan to disrespect some of your utility. And maybe even, I don't know, throw some of their own utility back. Now this time we tried the old, let's do no utility. That'll take them by surprise as I walk up on my own. What are they doing? Okay, now let's watch the very next round.
Nothing when you lose the fight.
Yeah, for me, like, I thought they were trying to fake out towards B by breaking the trap mid and like trying to force a rotation from the A side. Obviously, that's not what happened.
Yeah, layers to it.
Yeah.
Here comes the ult. It's used on an eco instead, and you feel as if this one really has to stick.
Oh, this is a really heavy investment.
It's a super early Armageddon that comes across lane. So, while that's...
Okay, let's take a look at this monstrosity, because when we're 7-0 down, we think, I know what we need to do. Let's run a KO ult fake B split, and then come to A instead. Whilst we're on an eco. That's surely the call when we're 7-0 down and have been getting destroyed, right guys? And again, you can tell that they have put some time into this. They've run this round. The strat book, I mean, it's got pages to it. None of them are good pages, but it's got pages to it. Because again, here we go. Fade Hunt. We're going to Prowler down here. We're going to fake a Yoru TP in here, right? We're really selling this little fake B split. I don't really know why Yampy needs to come up here as well. I don't know also why this is a recall star. Why is this a recall star when we're trying to run a fake B split? Why not just have that be a full smoke? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. Why are we flashing into the spawn? I don't know. What is this doing for you? You're running a KO. You know what? To be fair, this actually does get liquid. You know, they tail ult this. They use a useless tail ult. So good job. We traded an ult for an ult. But the problem is we're 7-0 down. The other problem is, for some reason, this isn't a full smoke. So our KO could just die here. Right? You see this moment right here? Like if you imagine if these guys are just a step here, this is a kill. This is a death. This is the round over already. I mean, it's already round over because the plan is so bad. But, you know, whatever. Okay, our KO survives that, right? In he comes on his own, doing nothing. Yampy is pushing top mid now on his own. These guys are now here and gets this kill because for some reason, this wasn't a full smoke. Why isn't this a full smoke when we're running this fake? I don't know, because you know what's good for fakes? Smokes. Them not being able to see what's going on is generally pretty good for a fake. Okay, but whatever. KO's running in here alone, and of course is also going to die. But don't worry, guys, the plan worked. Because as far as I can tell, this to them must be a success. Because, hey, we got the site. Now, I love when teams run these kind of plays. I've been long-standing loved when people, you know, decide to sacrifice a player to run a fake just so they can get the spike down and play a 5v4 retake. Is that ever a good idea? No. To sacrifice two players, because again, why does Yampy need to be here? He can probably do the missiles from, you know, where the rest of the team are, right? He could just put out some random missiles over towards B if he wanted to, right? Or actually put out some missiles that might be helpful to the team, right? And put them here if you're not going to do this smoke. He could do that from here. I don't know why he has to be here and why he needs to be sacrificed to the gods as well. But they choose that, right? We are just choosing to be in a 3v5. Like, what are we actually hoping happens here? I don't know. Like, what are you hoping goes on in this situation? You've just ended up in a 3v5. KOs can be rezzed, by the way. I know that, like, BBL probably don't know this, but you see how Magnum goes into this state? This means he could be rezzed if he wasn't just being sacrificed for no reason with a KO ult when you're 7-0 down and the map looks like this. Like, good job, guys. You're going to get the spike down and it's going to be a 3v5. Do any of you think you're going to win this round? Well, let's find out and see, shall we?
So while that space had been cleared out, BBL bail on the situation. Another A site which they'll go towards. Magnum to drop at a moment's notice, down to the last 3 players, up against 5.
I mean, you're looking at Sociable's Guardian as the key piece of weaponry to work with. And while this is all happening, you've got to be looking at the Team Liquid. They're coming from every avenue.
Prophet thrown into the snake pit, he falls. Serial adding further woes to the BBL side.
Okay, so earlier on I talked about how it seemed like BBL must be cutting Profec, right? Well, they must have told him during a timeout before this round. Because these next couple rounds, what you're going to see, I mean, again, the round starts off after this timeout, and you can see, like, semblance of a plan, right? A KO knife, a take of A main, you know? We get past the one-way. We get out. We survive their little, you know, counter coming back to us. Okay, like, you can see, you know, util is going back and forth. It looks like a normal pro game again, right? So, to be fair to them, at the start of this round, this is okay. The problem with this round is how the first kill is going to come about, because then they come back in towards mid. Okay, again, right, we're sending util in, right? Again, we've gone util for util. But now, and again, this is like, as a plan on Valorant, this one looks okay, right? Like, we push them back A main with a bit of trade of util, then we've come into mid, now we're trying to like fake as if maybe we're going for an A split, and then we're going to send a Euro TP in here to market, and we're going to come back this way. Now, if someone actually is in market, this plan completely falls apart, so it's the kind of whatever, but, you know, like, you can see, like, okay, semblances of a plan. The problem is, as we're about to go for this play, there's no smoke here. So Yampi's going to swing out, and we're just going to die. And again, we're too far away. No one's there to trade because, of course, we're still in Scooby-Doo mode. Then the smokes come. Right? So our timing of just like this crucial part of when we're actually trying to do this is now gone. So now the smoke is there, but we're already in a 4v5. And again, you look at our spacing and you do think like, hey, what if someone was in market? This would have just been a free kill, right? What if someone was playing towards stairs? Oh, then we're in a lot of trouble, right? There's a lot of things that could go wrong. Again, maybe it looks good on Valorant, but it doesn't actually in a game. And that would be, you know, bad enough if we weren't already like 8-0 down. But the real problem is, just watch what happens in the very next round. Guess how Team Liquid find the first kill.
Addition that, now they've dropped back into the bunkered setup, and BBL have multiple threats to be thinking about.
Seeing if they can trigger that A trap as well. Using extra steps through the fake out. Still though, Team Liquid don't need to panic. On top of that drone's massive in terms of the information. 3 players identified through mid.
For all the talk we've heard about utility and how overwhelming it can feel.
Why, yes, how did you know that it was going to be them taking A main, coming back into mid, and again dying because this smoke doesn't bloom in time? I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? I mean, then when we get into B main here as well, we're going to get a kill with no trade there on Serial. I mean, there's just so many layers to this. I mean, so many layers. I hope that I've shown you in this video just like how bad this got, right? Just like how bad this actually got here from BBL. This was one of the worst attack sides on any map I can ever remember, ever, especially considering that their comp should just be able to overwhelm the opponent so easily. They never once just thought, hey guys, why don't we just run an exec? They genuinely never thought about that. Like just grouping up as 4, you know, with our Astra on the other side of the map, or just 5 players and just saying like, why don't we just completely overwhelm a site because we've got triple initiator Yoru and potential like Astra Suns and Sucks as well to add into any exec. They literally never thought about that. Think about that. Just for a brief moment, just think about what I've just said.